Traders, investors, crypto enthusiasts, hello, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. We have an absolutely wonderful stream today. I'm going to take it a little bit different than normal. We're going to look at Bitcoin first, then we're going to look at three altcoins that I think have amazing upside potential right this moment based off what I see in the charts. Anyways, let's jump into it. This is going to be a little bit longer of video, so if you could please hit the like, hit the subscribe, tick that bell, because all of these trade setups are time sensitive. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on it. Now, if we look at Bitcoin, this is on the daily. We have been putting in this quote-unquote bear flag, aka this channel that has been a rising channel, which is actually very good, and we are also in this even larger rising channel based off the tops and the bottoms. So I actually have this marker up here indicative of how long it's been since the previous top. Now noted, this is simply because I decided to see how long it took from previous high, like all-time high, to the new all-time high, 207 days. So then I decided, you know what, it might take a little longer this time. So let's just push it out. Let's just say 237 days. You know what? We can even push it out to 300 days. But the farther out you go, the higher the potential is. So this is what I'm seeing out of Bitcoin. This might seem a bit ridiculous, but I do believe within the next, let's say, 132 days, within 132 days, I believe we could, for Bitcoin, set a new all-time high. Yeah, you guys are like, wow, how is he so bullish? Well, that's because I look at metrics, I look at all the other things. So Bitcoin currently just hit all-time high hash rate. We have billionaires literally buying up all the Bitcoin off OTC market. So the OTC market, it's gonna dry up sooner or later. But then what's gonna happen is the OTC market is going to have to replenish, therefore they will have to start buying on the spot exchanges. Now, spot exchanges also only have, I think it's 9% of all Bitcoin in existence. So literally 9% of all Bitcoin in existence are dictating the price right now, in which Wall Street and hedge funds enjoy trading. So we're actually at the mercy of Wall Street and hedge funds. You can see we actually had a nice little pump today, and then Wall Street chose violence. Pretty much. They woke up today and they're like, oh, wait a minute, things are going up. Force that price back down. But I think they're losing their momentum, because look at this volume. The volume is incredibly low. Even on these huge sell days, massive sell day, there was not a spike in volume. So the volume's super low. There's very few people pushing this price down. The only thing that's really holding the price down is lack of retail interest right now. And that's because world markets are in absolute turmoil. People are still getting over the whole pandemic thing, and they're trying to get back on their feet. I understand. But with all these large institutions accumulating more adoption, I think Bitcoin's about to go on a crazy rally that we're all not ready for. We did just hit the bottom of this trading range. So I pointed this out the other day. It does look like we're bull flagging out, and we're at the bottom of the range. So we tapped it. We literally tapped the bottom of this upward trend we're in. We tapped the bottom of the bull flag. I mean, the only way we can go is up. If we broke these two supports, we were in danger of possibly testing 3,500. And then if we broke that 3,500, then we're in real danger. Then we're looking at way lower prices. Don't want to see that. I don't think the bulls or the bears want to see that either, because guess what? Both bulls and bears are trading this asset. They're both holding this asset. So I don't think they're going to let it go down to zero. I mean, if there's one thing, greedy people like money. Okay? They like money. So I think over the next couple days, we are going to see Bitcoin rise up at least to the 41,100 range, possibly the top of this channel, maybe a 7% rise from where we are right now. And then if we are capable of breaking out of this, it'll post some really good gains for us. So what the technicals are telling me right now, yes, there is major bearish divergence. However, it is argued we're setting up bullish divergence right now. So on the daily, we could be setting up bullish divergence, which then could indicate a strong reversal in the coming days, coming week, something like that. But we have done a pretty good job maintaining support. We just need to hold this line. If we cannot hold this line, then we're in some serious trouble. Now, for all of you traders that are trying to make a trade today, the 4-hour time frame, you are seeing bearish divergence. So you can see right here, a little bit higher negative momentum. So bearish divergence is starting out. You could see another test at this level, possibly coming down here to 37,700, possibly, or the bulls can step in, show some huevos, and push this price up. Anyways, the 1-hour time frame is actually posting the same bearish divergence. Actually, it's double bearish divergence, so it does show that we are going down in price. So expect that back test, especially of this level at 38,200. Expect the back test, but if we do not get it, you're waiting for a break, confirmation break above 39,295. You're looking for the confirmation break, meaning we break above, we back test it as support, and then we get to move on. That's what we're looking at out of Bitcoin. Considering I'm so bullish on Bitcoin, this is going to make these next 3 altcoins look insane. Now, we're going to start out with what I believe is completely oversold, and oh my god, oversold, is AVAX. AVAX looking like a gem. Honestly, it looks like a gem. Let's go to the daily chart. Let me get rid of all of these beautiful little lines I drew up so you can see exactly what I am talking about here. We're getting rid of it all. On the daily time frame, we have this upper trend. So we broke below it. I think this is a bear trap. Honestly, bear trap. I mean, we could say maybe the line came here because this was wicked down, but I believe this is a bear trap. And with that being said, you have your upper down to the lower. So this is the consolidation pattern I'm seeing, which noted. You can also see we had great upward momentum. We're sitting, I believe, just above support. So we have this level that will catch us if we fall. Then we have this level right here that will catch us if we happen to drop. Extremely bullish to me. We did not touch it. We have a higher low than previous low. This is a big deal. We still have lowering volume, which means that not that many people are actually selling this asset. It does look like we are forming bullish divergence right now on the daily, just like with Bitcoin. But what I can expect is not only a break back into the structure, but also back to the top of the structure. So what I believe will happen with AVAX, which noted, take this with a grain of salt, but 26% rise to the upside, your stop loss would be just below this level at $65.36. That's where your stop loss is. So if you have it sitting at $64.34, should be sitting pretty. Should be. Hopefully you don't get stopped out, but this is kind of a low risk entry right now on AVAX. Now, if we manage to not only get to the top of that range, but also break out, your upside potential upon breakout is 79% to the upside, setting an all-new all-time high at $160. These are just price targets. This is not financial advice. This is just what I'm seeing out of the market right now, based off the technicals. And this is how I set up my trades. Now, we can also see on the relative strength index, it looks like we're trying to go up right now. We're fighting against a 20 EMA. We have all these EMAs sitting really close together, which is actually a really nice thing, because then you don't have to worry about them being far apart, hitting each one as resistance. It's really nice, because then you can just break through them, off to the races. But you can also see you have triple bullish divergence on the 4-hour. That is indicative of a higher price. You can also see we did bottom out right here. We hit another bottom just as a back test. Now we're starting to rise. So AVAX is looking absolutely phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, you can see there is bearish divergence, but when you have triple bullish divergence in a market that is oversold, you tend to pay attention more to the bullish side than the bearish side. So I do believe this market's oversold. I believe these prices are going to go up. However, I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm going to have a stop loss sitting right below support. That's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, the reason why I say you're going to probably stop up here at the top is because you do have a resistance sitting right above, like literally right at the top of that structure. You do have resistance, so that's double resistance. It's going to be very hard to break through that the first try, but you could see a break to the upside, hit the top, back test, and then go. So that's what I would like to see out of AVAX, but AVAX is looking set up for higher prices. Anyways, that was the first one. First altcoin. Looking good in my eyes, in my opinion. Now, let's go to the next one. We're going to do, it's basically a follow-up video based off what we saw last time, but this is going to be going over RVN Ravencoin. Now, RVN Ravencoin has dumped a bit since the last time I made that video, but I am still extremely bullish because guess what? We are bouncing off of support, and this is kind of our last line before we see much lower prices down here at 4 cents. So, what you can see on the daily, you can see that bullish divergence is forming. You can also see you wick down below this little pocket. This was a low. This is a higher low. So you got to pay attention to these higher lows. So you're technically still bullish. There are more people holding this token than before, provided we do not break this level and continue to the downside. Understand that. But your stop loss right now would actually be right down here at the bottom of this daily candle, where, what, 4774, maybe 4761, sitting in that range. You can also see on the stochastic RSI, you are converging to the upside. My first target is to come back up, try and tap up against this 20 EMA on the daily. And then from there, you try and tap the top of the structure. Either way, you're looking at 13% gains to the upside. Now, here's where it gets ridiculous. If you manage to break out of this structure, backtest as support, you're looking at 171% gain measured move. Ravencoin is no joke. This thing, when it decides to run, it will run hard. Now, you can see over here, we did have this weird scam wick down before we maintained support at this level that we're sitting at right now. You can see exactly what happened last time we maintained that level. We went to the frickin' moon. We went all the way up here to 17 cents. That's something you can't just ignore. Can't ignore it. So, could this happen again? I mean, maybe. History does not repeat itself, but it does rhyme, okay? It does rhyme. You have some resistance, some chop that you could run into on the way up, but that looks pretty good. Now, let's look at the 4 hour. 4 hour, just like everything else, it actually has bullish divergence. Right now, bullish divergence. It looks pretty darn decent. Now, if you actually look at this, the sellers of the morning came out for blood. We did not make it up to the 20 EMA yet. We are putting in this doji candle, which it's interesting because we broke back above, we maintained support, tried to push the price down again. Now we're starting to see that rise. So let's go down to the 1 hour. Let's see, for all of you day traders out there, this is actually what you want to see. You can see currently you're up, you back tested as support, now you're setting a new supply line. So this is actually the fun part. If you wanted to go really high leverage, and I do not recommend high leverage, just saying, not that I do it, wink wink, this is your new supply line. So you can actually expect to put a long in every time you hit the supply line. Also, put a stop loss just below. So your stop loss, if you're going higher leverage, would be down here at 0.4785. This is your supply line. This is what you have to pay attention to. Your upper trend that you need to worry about, which is in the short term, that you really do need to break above, is right overhead. Right overhead. As soon as you break that, it's off to the races. You are definitely going up, trying to first off test this level at 5745, which happens to also coincide with this upper trend line of resistance, which is the major structure we're in. Alright, so that is RVN token. I'm very bullish on RVN right now. This is just looking absolutely, positively amazing. Now, for the final token, the third token of the day, we're looking at SNX. This little bad boy is a monster. I'm just kidding. It looks really good though. So, looking on the daily time frame, you can see we have all these different levels of support and resistance. I mean, it's just support, resistance, support, it's everywhere. Absolutely everywhere. But you can see we're kind of sitting in no man's land. We actually came very close to a support level. We came out of it, we back tested as support, came back into this structure, hit the top of the structure, back down to the bottom to this trend line here. And then we hit the top of the structure again before back testing the lower trend line. Either way, this is a very interesting asset. I do love that it has two supply lines, just because that's two levels of support that you have, and you just broke above the higher level. And on the daily, you're right now fighting to break back above the 200 EMA. If you guys don't understand TA, that is absolutely amazing for this asset to do, because if you manage to break that 200 EMA, oops, didn't want to do that. If you break that 200 EMA, measured moves are just happening. They're just happening. You can actually take it from the bottom, the lower supply line, rather than this first one, and get a measured move from that. So you'd be looking at 59% gains from the breakout. Back up to $10.27. SNX looks great. Also, that would be a point where you see a reverse, back test, and possibly push all the way up to $11.71. SNX looks phenomenal in my opinion. Not financial advice. But let's go ahead and drop down to the 4-hour time frame. For all you day traders out there, you're putting in triple bullish divergence right now. Triple bullish divergence. You're sitting above all of your EMA ribbons, or all of your moving averages. You backtested the lower part of the structure as support after breaking above. This is what you really want to see. So you scalp traders out there, you put a stop loss just below, probably at that 200 EMA, sitting at $5.58, but your price potential to the upside, 14%. 14% before you even see resistance. You can see it can do it. It definitely can do it. The price targets are absolutely amazing. Alt season is coming. But we look at the 1-hour time frame. 1-hour time frame, you're sitting in the middle on the relative strength index. You are starting to put in a little bit of negativity on the MACD. However, this could start going right back up in no time. You can say you have bearish divergence. However, you see this tiny little red mark. Hold on, let me zoom in. The fact of the matter is, you do have this tiny little red mark here, right at this level from April 26th, that you do have to consider, oh hey, that was a bearish cross that did not play out very well because we had this bullish candle right after. Anyways, this can be considered as bullish divergence. Or bearish divergence. That was the bearish divergence playing out. Now, you're getting bullish divergence. Keep it in mind, 14% upside potential. This is what I see out of this chart. You're already up 8.5% on the day, and I do believe this thing is getting ready to take off. Now, hopefully, this video wasn't too long for you. If you made it to this point, definitely hit the like, hit the subscribe, follow me on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, jump in there. I post trade setups pretty often. I'm trying to post these videos daily, so definitely hit the subscribe, pushing our way up to 1,000 subscribers. Anyways, I hope this helps you out. I hope your stop losses are close, and let's get these gains, people. Other than that, have a fantastic day. I'll see you later.